Hello, today we're going to draw Sonic the Hedgehog. First thing I'd like to do is go ahead and block in the basic shapes that I want to use to create Sonic. So this circle right here, very loosely, is going to be the circle that will be Sonic's head. This allows for me to know whereabouts his head will be placed. It's a guideline. Now underneath his head we want to go ahead and bring in his body, and his body is just shaped like an oval. So we have his head, we have this oval in here, and we want to go ahead and just bring in these stick legs right now. It's a skeleton of Sonic's legs. Alright, next thing we want to bring in his arms. His arms are going to come around like this. Again, just the stick figure structure. Now, here at the end of this line, we want to go ahead and bring in a circle. This will be Sonic's hand, his right hand. This, at the end of this line, will also be a circle, and this will be Sonic's left hand. So we have a circle for his head, an oval for his body, circle for his hands, and stick lines for his legs. Next, let's go ahead and bring in where his feet will be. These will actually be his sneakers, but these will be ovals as well. Just allows us the guidelines to know whereabouts he will be placed on this piece of paper. Next, let's go ahead and bring in Sonic's snout. Alright, it's just an oval. Comes around right around like this and ties in right with that circle. And dips down over in this section here, just a curved line. And there is Sonic's snout. He's got this little small nose, so we're going to bring in this nose here, and we're going to create a little reflection on the end of his nose, and we're going to shade this nose in. It's always good to leave a little reflection on the tip of his nose. Now, let's go ahead and bring in his eyes. His eyes are round. Here's one. Here's the other. Now notice this one here is much larger than this one because this is near, this one's farther away. It gives more dimension, makes it look 3D. Right, and once again his eyes, we want to leave a little bit of a reflection in his eyes, and this one here, this one's larger. This one here will be a little bit farther away, so it'll be a little bit smaller, and it hides right underneath this eyelid of Sonic's. Alright, so we have his eyes. Let's go and bring in his brow. Brow goes right above it, above his eyelid, and same thing here. This will be an eyelid. Draw this line for the ending of his eye, his left eye. Next we're going to bring in his ears. His ears are pointed just like triangles. So there'll be one here. The other one will be right above this circle that we drew earlier. Now we need to bring in his hair. Okay, comes around like this. And ties in right back into that circle that we drew earlier. So they all tie together. We need to give him a smile. Actually, it's a determined smile, like, hey, I'm ready for action. I'm just going to darken some of these lines here so you can see them just a little bit better. Now let's go ahead and work on his left hand here. He's got fingers, and we're going to lightly block in these egg shapes, egg-shaped oval, these oval shapes that look like eggs, and they overlap each other. Overlap is very good to give a three-dimensional look to your character. So we have 1, 2, and 3 fingers. Let's go ahead and add in his thumb. He's giving you a thumbs up because you're doing such a great job. And this is an oval shape as well. Bring in his palm. Now there's another oval shape that will go right underneath his hand. He's actually wearing gloves. So there we are. We have his hand. let's go ahead and continue his arm. Now earlier we made this stick arm here, this structure line. We don't need that anymore. And let's go ahead and bring in his belly. Not all the way around because we got to draw in his right hand. Alright, so we have this circle for his right hand, and now we're going to see just his knuckles, because his knuckles are leaning right up against the side of his body. We're following that guideline, that circle guideline we made earlier. And again, we need another oval for the ending of his glove. And thicken up his arm a little bit. Put some flesh on his arms, and I'm going to erase this stick line here. This line that was a structure line, the guideline for his arm. And his body. Just darken that part of his body up a little bit. On his belly, he has this circular oval shape right here. Now let's go ahead and darken up his leg lines, or actually make them a little bit thicker. So he does have, even though he's got small legs, he's got some thickness to his legs. Right. Now we need to draw in an oval shape here, because we're actually looking down into his sneakers. That's the view that we have. And we'll come up right above this line, give a thickness to those socks that he has on. And they hide right there because the sneakers overlap them. And darken up part of his one sneaker here. And we want to go ahead and give it a thickness because he's got some padding underneath his sneaker. Absorbs a lot of the shock when he runs. Then we have these